like Steam support to get them to transfer the account over to my new email. Hexcan, the keyboard I'm using is the CyberPower PC keyboard that came with my rig that I got. Have I told you about, or at least have you heard the story about the computer I got for Black Friday?
I must consider.
Alif, why don't you follow me on Twitter for now? And whenever I get this Steam thing sorted out, I'll hit you up. Is Steam support really bad? I've never had to deal with it.
Once upon a time.
Not quite what was planned.
Happy Feast of Wintervale, child.
So, being the computer guy that I am, I've always built my machines. But the last couple of times I've bought a computer, they've been laptops because, you know, like college and stuff. And at no point in my life have I ever had what I would call a gaming computer. The computers I've always had have just been slightly above average. I'm pretty sure if we play this out, it gets like Shadow Word Pained. So I'd rather do this and just have something else get Shadow Word Pained. And so a buddy bought me Overwatch for my birthday around November 20th, let's say. And playing that on my laptop was not an enjoyable experience. I was running. Ooh, that's perfect.
My shield for Argus.
I was playing Overwatch on lowest resolution, lowest settings, and getting less than 30 frames a second. For the average person, the average gamer, that's not even playable. I found it quite enjoyable. Overwatch is a fun game.
I must consider.
And I liked it so much that I'm finally at a point in my life where I'm like, I want a gaming computer. Which is ultimately the first time I would have a gaming computer in my life. And so this is all before Black Friday. And so I start looking around on websites, and you got to keep in mind, I have not built a computer in like a decade. And so I'm definitely out of the loop on stuff. And historically, with PCs, oh, I should have attacked with this guy. Maybe I should have attacked with him first.
Nothing scares me.
Historically with PCs, you could get parts that just don't go together, right? Like you could get a motherboard, you could get RAM specs, they look like they go together. You actually get them and it's like that RAM's never been tested for that board, that kind of thing, and it just does not work. So I need to get updated on these things. And so I basically just started, you know, Googling like budget gaming PC stuff to see what I can find, to see if I can get up to date. And I come across basically an article that was detailing all of the Black Friday sales that were going on. And so I start piecing together a computer. Is this like deck just, is this matchup just like unwinnable?
Get them, boys. The battle. Reporting for duty.
On that same website that I'm like referencing stuff, starting to put together a PC, there's a list of pre-built sales going on. Oh gosh, this is so frustrating. There's a list of pre-built sales that are going on, and there's one there that are like, if you have the money, this is amazing. Yeah, super well played, thank you. And what it is this CyberPower pre-built PC. It's a $700 PC normally. Okay. This Black Friday deal also had that along with an Oculus Rift headset, which retails for $600. So already you're looking at $1,300. On top of that is like $100 of Oculus Rift store credit and like a few other things like an Eve expansion code or something like that. This is not another Dragon Priest. We're switching decks if this is another Dragon Priest. So $700 PC, $600 Oculus Rift headset, $100 of store credit stuff. We're at $1,400 and a few other little goodies. All that for $1,000. And so I'm looking at this going, I don't want a virtual reality headset. I think buying a virtual reality headset right now is like buying the first iPhone. Like, sure, it's the greatest thing that we have right now, but that's going to be quickly outpaced, right? Virtual reality is going to be just insane in the coming years. And I'm just ultimately not really interested in it anyway. So my idea is to pay $1,000 for this and then just take the virtual reality headset and sell it. If I sell the headset for $300, keep in mind it's valued at $600, I'm happy because I essentially got the $700 PC. That's what it was valued at. And so I did that, and I ended up selling the headset for $500. So essentially, I got, you know, a $700 computer for $500, and I still have the Oculus Rift store credit. I would do it again. I'm gonna essentially play out some of this other stuff because the Defender and the Argent Horse Rider essentially both have charge, as in they can like affect the board at a later date. So the computer itself came completely built, you know, power supply, motherboard, processor, RAM, video card, and it actually also came with like mouse and keyboard. And so that is the mouse and keyboard I'm using currently. Now, historically, my favorite mouse has been a Logitech MX518. Relatively cheap for like just how good it is.
I wonder.
I don't know if it's good or bad. Like, I have that mouse number memorized. I think I've bought like 3 over the years. Bought.
I wonder.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry's here.
Ah, too bad.
Is that it? Avenge me!
What is Global Agenda and why do you have nearly 1,500 hours on it? Global Agenda is Hi-Rez's first game. Hi-Rez is the company that their most popular game is Smite, but they also have Tribes Ascend, Paladins is their newest one that's in beta. I don't think any of our plays are good. And I'm really tired of Dragon Priest.
Get 'em, boys.
Global Agenda. The game it was always compared to was PlanetSide 2. That's interesting.
Blessed be this funnel cake.
I'm thinking because we can Argent Horse Rider, and then like coin Argent Squire, and actually like kill off a lot of this stuff. That's what we're gonna do. At some point, I have to turn face
Don't worry, love.
because he's gonna outvalue us in the long run.
My shield for Argus.
So Global Agenda, it had some interesting ideas going on. This was about 6 years ago that I played Global Agenda. I still to this day think Global Agenda, gameplay balance wise, was one of the best games I've ever seen. There's a lot of merit to casting this before we cast the Smuggler's Run, and we definitely want to cast this before we cast the Doppelgangster. Like, I mean, we could Argent Squire and kill this guy off. I think we have to, right? Because if he attacks in on it, he can just heal it up. So I think we're playing... I said Argent Squire. I think we're definitely playing the Defender of Argus. But also the possibility of just small-time recruits Defender of Argus. Behind that is playing both of these. That doesn't seem that awful.
Nothing scares me.
My shield for Argus. Reporting for duty.
So Global Agenda was ultimately just like a first-person shooter, and it had a lot of really cross ideas that were kind of unique about it, which again are similar to PlanetSide 2. But there were 4 classes. There was what they called an Assault, which could be more like a heavy weapons guy or a soldier from like a TF2 perspective. We're going to play this with the idea that, well, in theory, Divine Shield could absorb a rag hit. We may actually...
I wonder.
We may actually play out the Doppelgangster to absorb rag hits, or we could small-time recruits and then float our board that way. That actually seems pretty good. Because this allows us to get our Smuggler's Run now. And all these Divine Shields are pretty righteous.
The light protects me.
Reporting for duty.
So 4 classes, you had Assault, Medic, Recon. And the Recon could be like a sniper style class or more of a melee up in your face. Kind of close to Genji, to be honest. And the last one, I don't even remember. It was like an engineering class. I forget what they called it though. Like a techie class that could build turrets and those kinds of things. A lot of pretty cool, innovative ideas, and again, I think it was really balanced, which is one of the reasons why I liked it the most. The game mode that we played and loved the most was a 4v4 format. I really think this guy just gets kind of like entombed or whatever, or deathed. And that may or may not be a bad thing, but it's definitely not enjoyable. I want to try to keep some of these Divine Shields up, so we'll probably cash in on the value here. Why don't we play him out and then an
Put your
Abusive
faith
Sergeant?
in the light. Get in there. I must move quickly.
Fight.
Something like that. It's not awful. There's a lot of like the no way the like Global Agenda, a lot like Team Fortress Classic, a lot like Tribes Ascend, a lot like Overwatch, to be honest, which is why my buddy ultimately got it for me. Is it? Well, we can actually kill off. No, we can't kill off the rag. Yeah, we're gonna continue going wide.
I fight.
Reporting for duty.